Good morning, Rabbi Sai. LEYLU NISHMAS Mordche. In lieu of all the emails, I want to introduce the Olam to our very brand new program that's starting Beis Hashem this Monday. MDY Kids International. We're Beis Hashem going to have a few locations, live locations, but the general idea is to have it on Zoom, where everybody could be mishtatev and see each other on Zoom. We're going to have two showings, one at 8 Eastern and one 8 Pacific. Here's the flyer. And what's interesting is that we're going to do something all the way at the end, fun questions to see if the kids are really there and holding, easy answers. And we're going to do it with a program called Cahoots. Kahoot. And here it is, how it looks a little bit. There's a thing, here we go. Remy, more volume. Volume? It's me? Oh. And if I need a volume button. Everybody, come on. You can't get me a volume button? If you do well, you answer the right amount of answers or whatever, so you get what is it called? You get coins, tokens. And with the tokens, you can purchase different merch and you'll have different things going on. So it gives the kids an incentive to listen and to be there, not to fake, not to do that Zoom thing where you put your picture on or in a loop where it looks like you're in the screen, but meanwhile you're somewhere else. What the kids figured out during school. Yeah. If you don't have internet access, too bad. Okay. And what? There's a phone number. 352 MDY Kids. That's in America. 352 MDY Kids. Wow, nice number. Here it's going to be live. It's going to be in the Beis Medrash. All right. What else? There's a little bit. We live in the UK, Manchester, with my two boys. Would very much like to join the MDY Kids Tinus Learning Program, but due to the time difference, we can't take part in the live. You hear this, Avi? Are you going to be? What about the UK?
They can watch it, and if you call in the number, there's information for people who can't watch it live.
So what? You're encouraging people to do it on the phone without the pictures and everything?
We're encouraging people to do Zoom.
Yeah. But if they can't, you don't want to. Is there any way they can take part in watching it at a different time daily and still be part of the raffles, etc.? Thanks so much. Why Grossberger? So the answer is what? You could do it on Zoom. On Zoom also?
Not on Zoom.
Not on Zoom. Just on the phone. They want to watch it and participate. Oh, they could put the YouTube on and listen to that on the phone and then answer the okay, whatever. Rabbi Sai. Oh, first, let's say hello to some of the guests. Whoever wants to be announced. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Mati Gansfried. Love the name. From?
It's complicated.
It's just last year, where did you live?
You pick anywhere you want.
I was born in Canada, grew up in Israel, and live now in New York.
Ah, okay. Canada, Israel, New York. Nothing. That's. I live in Israel 3 times, not once. 3 times back and forth. Okay. Your name, Tzaddik? Goldberg. Wow, related to all the Goldbergs? Some of them. From where? South Africa. What? Oh, that's a lot more exciting than you, sir. South Africa and Australia. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Mesivta Teres Yaakov. What, in New York? My brother Rafal is a big Rebbe there. Was, I said. Didn't I say was? Wow. So we're the boys from Thursday. You. Hi, Rafal. Don't worry, he's gonna get this before Shir's over. It happens every time. Okay. Unless he watches it and pretends he doesn't. What? Not everything, yeah. No, because wherever I go, people say, "Oh, you're False Stefansky's brother. Wow, he's my best friend." Well, you're a Rebbe there? You're Rebbe. Don't tell me you took over his position. No, okay. Any other guests? Yeah, well, tell me, what's your Talmud? What's the Talmud name? Milensky, Aaron Milensky. You? Kogel, Yuri. And who else? Binyamin? Livium. Like Levium, kind of. Gewaldig. Okay, welcome. Rabbi Isai, we have an amazing sugya today. Oh, I have to do the sponsors. The Koilo is sponsored by Anon Ymous from Lakewood. The second sponsor of the Koilo may support and to strengthen our bitachon. The Masechta sponsor is Maaser. The second sponsor of the Masechta is LEYLU NISHMAS Yosef by Anon Ymous. Sponsor of the month, the MDY family, LEYLU NISHMAS, Boruch, Helfgott, Zechrya, Bracha, ybl'c, Mordche, Shloima. Second sponsor, LEYLU NISHMAS, Zechrya ben Mordche. The third sponsor, LEYLU NISHMAS, Moshe ben Yehuda, by his community. He was a Holocaust survivor who was over 100 years old when he was nifter and inspired the family and friends. I can't read the whole thing. The sponsor of the week, this is the last day for Igor Zilberman, LEYLU NISHMAS, Kסיל ben Leyzer. Sham should have an Aliyah, and the art is sponsored for complete refuah for Chaim Tzvi ben Leah. We're going straight to the Mishnah. The official Mishnah is sponsored by Mordche Sepazim and Yehudei Nishmas, or Rav Feivel Cohen, or Rav Shraga Feivel ben Rav Eliezer Cohen, the Mechaber of Badi HaShulchan. Today we're going to see an amazing sugya that a lot of us say in davening every day. The sugya of klal prater klal, which a lot of people get a little nervous about. They hear the words and they say it in davening so fast. And what is it? Be'ez Hashem, we're going to have a lot of Clarkite today when we're done. Before we get there, says the Mishnah, Ro'es HaKoi. So the Kvi and the Koi, as I was walking here, I got an email from somebody that says he understands why there's a machlokes and how you say it. Kvi Koi. Ro'es HaKoi v'omar hareini Nazir shezeh chaya. So here we go. So there's a difference between a chaya and a behema. A chaya on the right, a deer. A behema on the left, a sheep, cow, goat. The difference is on the bottom. A chaya, you're allowed to eat its fat. There's no isser to eat the chelot. However, if you shecht it, you have to cover its blood like you cover the blood of a bird. A behema, you don't have to cover the blood. However, the chelev is aser. Hold on. So, a koi is a creation that it's made from a goat and a deer. It might look something like this on the right. That's what's his name? This is Yoshi. It's like a little bit of a goat, a little bit of a deer. It is a hybrid. Now the Gemara always has a shayla. What is it? Is it a behema? Is it a chaya? Is it both? Is it a bri b'fnei atzma? Is it its own little category? What is it? So, let's see. I go like this. Not working. Oh, here we go. So we have, to start out with, 6 people, very similar to the case we had the other day. We had it last night. 6 people see this koi. Kvi, koi. When I was in yeshiva, it was kvi. Kvi. And the art school changed it to koi, and therefore, whatever. We're going to go with koi. Yeah. Now that we have nekudos and everything, I think Magimar also says koi.
There you go.
Or Baruch Mordche didn't. It's kvi, that's it. Kvi koi. You see, that's the whole beauty about the word. Even the word is a complicated word. We don't know if it's koi or kvi. We don't know if it's a behema or a chaya. It's complicated. First guy says, Hareini Nazir shezeh chaya. I'll be a Nazir. I'm so sure the halacha is that there's a chaya. The chaylev is mutter. There's no kisei dam. Did I say there's no kisei dam? There's kisei dam. Hareini Nazir shezeh einei chaya. Comes Rabbi Turgeman, who was here yesterday. Whoever didn't see him, you missed it. There's actually one of his here is in the garbage can if anyone wants. I try to sell it after share. Nobody wanted it in the garbage can. Aryeh Nazir shezeh eirei chaya. It's not a chaya. They contradict each other. Comes the next guy and says Aryeh Nazir shezeh behema. Basically saying the same thing as the second guy. And Aryeh Nazir shezeh behema. The other guy says Aryeh Nazir shezeh chaya u behema. It's both. And finally, Aryeh Nazir shezeh loy chaya v'loy behema. It's a bria b'fnei atzma. Great. What's next? Now we have three other people. So these three people are arguing. Zechaya, behema. Comes Avifactor's father. Hareini Nazir she'echad mekem Nazir. I'm betting that one of you is a Nazir. L'chayr is right. Somebody has to be right there. From all those choices, somebody has to be right. Hareini Nazir she'ein echad mekem Nazir. A little interesting. Well, according to some shitas, nobody, because if you're not sure, we had yesterday, if you're not 100% sure, then it's nothing. Hareini Nazir she'kulchem Nazirim. On the flip side, you could say like Bishama, you could say like Reb Shimon, you're all Nazirim. Let's see it inside. By the way, Daf Lamedal, I believe, is halfway through the Masechta. It's like we're at least into the second half of the Masechta. Ro'as HaKoy. Kvi. V'om Hareini Nazir shezeh chaya. Hareini Nazir shezeh eini chaya. Hareini Nazir shezeh behema, says the third one. The fourth one says Hareini Nazir she'ezeh behema. Hareini Nazir shezeh chaya u behema. It's both. Hareini Nazir she'ein zeh loy chaya v'loy behema. There's a Nazir that's not neither of them. Hareini Nazir she'echad mekem Nazir. I'm a Nazir on condition that one of you is a Nazir. Not on condition, but I'm assuming. Hareini Nazir she'ein echad mekem Nazir. I'm a Nazir that no one is a Nazir. Hareini Nazir she'kulchem Nazirim. I'm betting that all of you is Hareini kulam Nazirim. Now, if we go according to Beis Shammai say Hegdish tos, Hegdish, that I can make something Hegdish even by mistake. I made a mistake. So all these people, either they're right and they're Nazirim, or they're wrong and they're also Nazirim because you become a Nazir and Hegdish is like Nazir is like Hegdish. So we can understand Beis Shammai. The problem with that is that we pass like Beis Hillel, not like Beis Shammai. So why would the Mishnah go like Beis Shammai? So another pshat is that goes according to Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon, we had the machlokes yesterday. When you have a person who points at a pile of wheat and he says, in this pile is X amount of wheat. And before they had a chance to measure the amount, somebody came and took it away, stole it. So Reb Shimon says, they're Nazirim. Why? Because you could be a Nazir Mesafik. Reb Yehuda says nobody wants to put himself in a position of a Nazir's Mesafik. When he becomes a Nazir, he's 100% sure that he's a Nazir. He knows what he's saying. And once you take away that pile of wheat, he'll never know. So he'll never know on that condition he didn't want to become a Nazir. But Reb Shimon is of the opinion that even if you don't find out what it is, you're still a Nazir. You have to be chayshish. Maybe there was 100 in that pile, like he thought, and therefore we don't know. He's a Nazir. This is a eitzah. He says what you do is you say miman shach. Either in the pile there's 100, so I'm a Nazir, or in this case, either this animal is a behema, so I'm a Nazir, or on the tzad that he's a chaya, or he's neither. So then I'm going to voluntarily become a Nazir. Regardless, I'm a Nazir today. Either I'm mechuyev because it was in what I said. You take any of these guys. The guy all the way to the right. The guy on the right says, I'm a Nazir if it's a chaya. So if this koi kvi is a chaya, then he's a Nazir. And if the koi kvi is a behema, or a chaya and a behema, or neither, he's also a Nazir because he accepted it by himself. He'll become a Nazir. On the suffix. I'm going to do a voluntary Nazirus. It's not a big deal. That's where Reb Shimon gave the eights at the end. Yeah? Fine. Says the Mishnah. Oh, we're ready by the Gemara? All right, cool, Nazir. Great. Tana Chada. So one pshat was Tisha Nazir. One pshat is, like you see over here, 9 people lined up, and each one says something different. Great. Another way to learn this case is that it was one person that came along and he said all 9 things, and therefore he has to be a Nazir 9 times 30 days. One person is a Nazir 9 times. Says Gemara, Bishleima, Tisha Nazirin, Kigoin, Dahavi Gaver Tvei, Tidfas Vazaway. There's many people, and each one said something else. What's the case? How could one person say 9 things? The first 6 that we had by themselves, it's a behema, it's a chaya, it's both, it's this, it's that. I can understand. And how could I understand? How could he contradict himself? Okay, so he said each one on a different day. One day he said it's a behema, the next day he said, no, you know what, it's a chaya. And each time he said it, he added another nazirus. The 3, he's talking to himself about himself. So how could he say, Haray, hold on, I'm going back to there. Hareini Nazir she'echad mikem Nazir. I'm going to be a Nazir that one of you. He's talking to himself. I mean, who's one of you? He's talking to himself. It's only him. There's only one person in this case, according to this Bracha. If there's 9 people in the case, he's saying, I'm a Nazir in condition that one of you 6 people is a Nazir. I'm a Nazir, one of you 6 people is not a Nazir. But how can he be talking to himself? Amar Rav Sheishes. Oh, here he is. Or Rav Sheishes, check this out. You can check the thing. Here we go. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. There's a 10th guy, says Rav Sheishes. 10th guy says, I'm a Nazir with all you 9 Naziriyos. I'm taking upon myself everything. So he becomes a Nazir 9 times. It's not pshat that he said. It's not him discussing the koi and the kvi, what it is and what it's not. He's saying, whatever those 9 people discussed, I'm taking upon myself all their Naziriyos. Somebody I'm a Nazir 9 times. So according to Bishamai say that a person becomes a Nazir even betos, even by mistake. These 9 people, some of them made a mistake, some of them didn't. Because either it's a complete animal, it's a behema, it's a chaya, it's both. But somebody made a mistake there. According to Bishamai, they're all Nazirim. What kind of Nazirim? Vadai. Now, according to Reb Shimon, there'll be Nazir Suffolk over here. Because according to Reb Shimon, they'll never find out what it is. Nobody knows what a koi is. Teiku. So they're all Suffolk. According to Rabbi Yehuda, nobody's a Nazir. Why? Because if I don't know what it is, then I don't become a Nazir. According to Rabbi Shimon, I become a Nazir, Misafik. So all these guys are Nazir and Misafik according to Rabbi Shimon. Hadran Aloch Beis Shammai. Hadran Aloch Beis Shammai. Hadran Aloch Beis Shammai. Right, so we're actually working on the Saita book. Just like we had, not the Saita. Amamish. Why am I holding in Saita? Amamish can't wait. No, it's a Gewaltige Masechta. It's unbelievable. We're holding behind the scenes with Saita, printing how much we should print. Ooh, wow, Morty Rasby's having surgery today. Mordche Shloima ben Saratili. Wow, what's going on? I haven't seen him in a while. Okay, Refuah Shloima. He's on Zoom. Morty! Refuah Shloima. All right, Rabbi Isa, here goes. Gewaltige Sugya. Chaperein. So once in a lifetime. Shleisha minin asur ben Nazir. There are 3 things that are asur for a Nazir. Oh, Mishnah sponsor. I did say the Mishnah, no? The official Mishnah sponsored by Boruch LEYLU NISHMAS or a Feivel Kohen, the Machaba or Vadei Shulchan. So here goes. Here's the pasuk. It's just written in the way that the Mishnah brings it down, but if you look, you'll see it's Gimel, pasuk Gimel, Hey and Vav. Al nefesh meis lo yavai. There's an isser for a Nazir to be metamata meis. Tar lo yava aroish, he's not allowed to shave his head. Va'anovim lachim yibeshim lo yochel, can't eat grapes. Very familiar with this. Shloisha minin asurim ben Nazir. 3 things. Hatuma, vatiglachas, va'yoytzim in agefen. If you look at this, here it is. The tuma, tiglachas, yoytzim in agefen, and check it out. It goes something like this. This was Yoshi's what is it called? Sign or symbol? Symbol of Nazirus. And it comes from those 3 things: the tuma, the tiglachas, and the gefen. The chol hayoytzim min hagefen mitztar from zemzeh, and that's going to be our sugi exactly. What is yoytzim min hagefen exactly? Mikol asher yasim hagefen hayay mechartzal ma'azog lo yoichel. everything that comes out of the grape, lo yoichel. There's actually a shaila. It's not even shaila. It's paskin. I'll ask you the shaila. If a person is making a boiri priyagofen on grape juice, on wine, and he wants to eat grapes, should he be mechaven? Could he be mechaven on the grapes? Or grapes is a boiri priyaetz? He's saying boiri priyagofen. Could he be mechaven? So the Mishabura Paskins, what do you guys say? No. It's not a machlokes. First of all, you can't even say that because you're sitting next to Hill. That's Hill's job. Nice try. But notice that Hill didn't say a word. Hill knew that it's not a machlokes. You have to know what to say machlokes. It's a chachma.
What's the answer, Hill?
What?
What's the answer, Hill? Not even a machlokes.
It's not even a machlokes.
It's never a machlokes.
The Mishabura Paskins that just like if a person has kavana when he eats a potato and he says boyer priya adama and he has kavana for fruit, he's yaitza. The same applies here. But Moshe Feinstein says even more. He says that even according to Shagasari that it's not true. Over here it'll be maskim in grapes. Why? Because it says because she also means gefen ayayin, and gefen is referring to the tree. The Torah calls the entire tree and everything a gefen. He brings a few psukim to show that it's so in Mela there is no machlokes. When a person says boyer priya gofen, I don't know if it's lechatchila. It's not lechatchila so much, but if he was mechaven, he doesn't make another bracha. There's no shayla that doesn't make another bracha if he didn't have kavana. Should he do lechatchila? I don't think so. You should break it up maybe and eat the grapes a little bit later and have some sort of stab. But if he did, because gefen includes all these things. So, everything that comes out of this tree, and we're going to see, does it mean literally everything? What about the branches? The non-edible parts of the tree. Stuff that's edible. What do you guys think? What about the leaves? Grape leaves. You don't remember? There used to be, in the chasanas, they used to roll it up. Like a delicacy. Shem Yerachim those days. Yeah, right. That's delicious. There's a reason why they don't serve it anymore. The shear is kizayis. Now we know kizayis is very, very small. An olive, whatever the olive of the time of the Torah, whatever, it's larger, but it's kind of it's a small fruit. Daf Amud Beis. I got a voice note this morning, Baruch Hashem. I don't know if you saw a whole shtickle Torah. Why we should say the sponsor of the turning the daf when it was Lamed Gimel and Beis when there's zero there. It doesn't have to do with finishing Amud Aleph. It doesn't have to do with beginning of Amud Beis. It doesn't have to do getting to the next daf. Raya brought a raya from the end of the Masechta that you don't say turning the daf if it's just Amud Aleph. The whole thing. But somebody said, listen, I want to remind you that the reason is, I don't know what it was. Do you know what it is? Shouldn't say his name. Okay. The whole reason why there is a turning the daf sponsor is because there were people that were upset that we call it turning the daf, not turning the page. And somebody stepped in and said, you know what, I'm going to spend $1,000 a month, so you say turning the daf. No pages. Just like it bothered him. They said, Koi nakvi. We learned from Yeshiva daf. What is this page? A folio. The guy, it's Mr. Gross? Yeah. Mr. Gross. Mr. Gross is leaving tonight, so I want to say goodbye. But he told me, but he's not so wrong. He goes, I'm going to be here for the next 2 episodes. Today is his final episode.
We'll be showing the reruns.
He's in charge. He's in charge of all reruns with cahoots.
We're going to the 4th season very soon.
Season 4. Streaks. Okay. Look what you did, Mr. Gross. Yeah, okay. I don't remember. Your father used to say use also. Oh, class. When's class tonight? Okay, whatever. Different people have different things. So the guy paid X amount of money to say daf and not class and not folio and not episode. Just keep it with the thing. So Mela, I didn't even know what his point was. The point is he should pay. Because it has nothing to do with the daf, it has to do with the turning. Oh, he said it has to do with the turning and not so much the daf and the learning inside. Okay, fine.
The learning is not done.
Hi, Mr. Sheine is actually Yishte Revius Yayin. Oh, so.
And you didn't say it.
I didn't? Oh. Hatzlacha of Leib ben Aliza Simcha Sheine Mashe and Aliza Simcha Sheine Mashe bad Bracha. Latzlacha for the magid, the members of the HBA Group and their families. Amen. So here's just a real quick thing here. I just put this together quickly today. If you look on the side, an egg, it says a large egg is about 2 ounces. And that kind of makes sense to the numbers that I'm familiar with. Maybe Rav Schoenberg will correct me, but a revius yayin is 1.5 eggs, which equals to 3-4 ounces, right? Somewhere around there. I don't know how accurate, but obviously you're not using this on Leil Seder, my charts. It's just an approximate thing. I just want to show you the difference between 1.5 eggs and a tiny little zayas. Obviously 1.5 eggs is a lot more. A revius is a lot more than a zayas. That's it. That's all I'm trying to prove here. And it kind of fits in with what we're used to on even Leil Seder. You're supposed to drink approximately 4 ounces, I think, of wine. Something like that, even according to Chazon Ish. Fine. Yeah? 3.6. No, Rabbi Shomer, what's the number? No, what are you working? Grams? CC. Oh, that's right. No, it's not a lot more than that. I have a cup that's Chazon Ish. Yeah, it's like this more. Over 4? Okay. I stopped, no, because Leil Seder, I used to use my becher that my wife bought me for my first Yom Shas, and it's massive. It's like a liter. And then you have to drink Rev Kais, and by the second Kais, I was knocked out. Yeah. Maaser Mishnah Rishoyin Oimeres, in the beginning, before Rebbe put together the Mishnah, they used to say, Achishta Revius Yayin. You need, when it comes to liquid, you need a revius. When it was solid stuff, it's kazayas. The liquids is a revius. Reb Akiva Oimer Afilu Shora Pito Beyayin. So this is amazing. Our boys, I checked this out. A person takes a piece of bread and dips it in wine. So this is an idea of heter mitztaref le'isser. We're talking about bread is 100% mutter for a Nazir. But because he dipped it into the wine, the solid bread becomes part of the wine and it becomes part of the shear. And we learned somewhere else, I forgot what Masechta was back in the day, that even the part that the man's holding here that's not red is also mitztaref to the shear. We once learned that. I don't know if the Gemara here is going to go like that or not. Once, huh? Yeah. Steak in the wine. Yeah. Shara pita b'yayin. He soaked his bread in wine. V'yesh bo kedei letzaref kezayis. And together with the bread, you have a kezayis chayev. V'chayev al hayayim b'fnei atzmoi. Now, there's no real chiddush over here that if you drink wine, you're chayev. The chiddush is that I would think a little bit later, v'ala novim b'fnei atzmon, if you eat grapes by themselves, v'ala chartzana b'fnei atzmon, v'ala zagi b'fnei atzmon. Here you have chartzanim and zag. We're going to see in a second that there's a machlokes which one is chartz and which one is zag, but the point is, one is seeds and one is grape peels. And the chiddush is that Rebbe Lezman is Aryeh in chayiv at sheyochal shni chartzanim v'zag. He holds that the zag is like Rabbi Yossi, who says it is the outside. So you need 2 peels and 1 seed. What? No, the opposite. Because chartzanim and zag, you need 2 minim together, and 1 is not good by itself. So memela, they're saying no, by itself. So the chiddush is more in the chartzanim. If you eat the chartzanim by themselves, a whole kazais of peels, Yechayev, whereas Rebbe Lozman Azari says, no, I need 2 and 1. Because it says in the pasuk, chartzanim ad zag. So the pasuk kind of puts it together. He learns that it means literally you have to eat both of those things in order to be chayev. Now, Elam chartzanim, Elam zagim. HaChartzanim elu achitzoynim. Chartzanim, says the Mishnah, means the peels, the skins, thank you. Hazagim elu apnimim, zagim are the seeds. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi omer shleitita, I argue. Kizuk shebehema. Hachitza, and here you go. You have a bell on an animal. If you ever were in Switzerland, highly recommended. It makes it like you hear them all morning long. They wherever they walk, you hear them. Not all of them, like one in a crew. I don't know what that cow feels and thinks. Like it's the most annoying thing in the world. Imagine a bell stuck to your ear the whole day. It's like you go down really slowly, like But the inside is imbel, the outside is the zug. So now, if you want to remember, he says, "I'm telling you that the outside is the zug, not the inside." The Tanakhama says the what is it called? The clapper? How do you say it? Clapper. Clapper is the proper word. It's not the clapper. It's the outside skin is the zug. Okay, so we have machlokes. What does zug mean? It's one or the other. It's either the skins or the seed, but Rabbi Yossi says that zug is the outer. Says the Gemara, Shloishim Asurim ben Nazir. Stam, I was a little bored this morning. I looked it up. That there are grapes in Japan. They sell these grapes for $12,000 a cluster, like everything else. Only in Japan. It's called Ruby Romans. They take a lot of care. There's such a thing as very, very expensive grapes. Just like they spend millions of dollars on a mushroom.
Wagyu.
What?
Wagyu.
No, but also I thought the truffle.
And you know
Wagyu A5.
You know
How much?
They feed them these grapes. They can eat these grapes.
Shloishim Asurim ben Nazir hatuma. Hayosim la gefenin. Gefen atzmoi loy. It seems like only that which comes out of the grape, but not the grapevine itself. Masnisin the loy ybl'c the Sanya Eliezer oimer afilu alin v'lulavim v'mashma. Eliezer says even this stuff here. So here you see that they still do. They take grape leaves, they fill it with the rice and the meat. That's the alvim. And here I just found a picture of a shoot. Shoot it's like a branch, but it's green and kind of edible. The bottom part obviously is hard like a rock, hard like a branch. But the shoot, it's called the shoot. I found a picture. There's a lot of different words and things that are going on this grapevine. So Eliezer says that a Nazir who would eat the shoot, the green branch, he'd be over on his Naziros. B'mashma. And Seifa, some say we learn same exact thing, but we learn from the second part of
You're saying only the things that are royal achila, not if you would.
Right.
If he takes off a branch and starts chewing.
Correct. I mean, it's somewhat royal achila. You can't eat a branch, right? No, branch not. Now, I just want to point out something very interesting. The Gemara in Chula and Daf Beis says that the grapes have to daven for the lulavim and the alum. Why? Because the lulavim and the alum, without them, there wouldn't be any grapes. Grapes need the shoots, they need the leaves to protect them. So it's very interesting because if you think about it, this could be like a typical Gemara. Tells you, you should know, the grapes, they daven for this. So what did Gemara tell us? Like, why? What's the point? So Rashi says on the spot, like without Rashi, we'd have no clue. The grapes daven. Rashi says, Talmidei Chachamim have to daven on everybody because they support them. So you learn from the grape. If the grape is going to daven for the leaves, so Talmidei Chachamim should also daven for the people that help them out and support them and give them money and koil, etc., etc. Says the Gemara. It says in the end of the Mishnah, I'm learning the same exact thing. Just I don't like to learn it from the Reisha because the Reisha is not clear. I could argue with the Reisha, but in the Seif it's a lot more clear. It says mefurish. In the Reisha it says more minagefen, so I could say no, it means this, it means that. Over here it says it says mefurish the word grape. So then I could say, listen, it says mefurish in the Mishnah, grapes, not wood, not branches. And on that I learned that the Mishnah is not Leib. Okay. Because gefen maybe means, yes, leaves, not leaves. But when you say anovim, you can't argue. Anovim is a grape, like we call it a grape today, and memela, Rebbe Lezer doesn't go like our Mishnah. So here comes the sugi Rabbi Isai. Just pay attention for a minute or two, and you'll see that it's actually a very, very simple sugya. Where's this thing? Oh, wait, I thought I printed. Okay. Oh, yeah, I did. Here. Sorry. Here we go. A lot of people say this. Some people don't even say Psukkah de Zimra. They're busy on Zoom. But those who are busy with Karbanas, and I do say Karbanas before I come here, but okay. But Rabbi Shmuel Leimer, B'shleishes Seremidas Atar Nidreshes. What? The Shleishes Seremidas Atar Nidreshes. This is 13. Now today I counted. I couldn't believe it. 8 out of the 13 are all talking about this. What's going on here? So klal is a generalization. It just, the Torah says, anything that comes out of a grape tree. It's anything. But then the Torah says prat. The Torah says, but he shouldn't eat grapes. He shouldn't eat skins. Those are pratim. Those are details. Those are specifications. So anytime the Torah says klal and prat, or prat and klal, or klal, prat, or klal. Now, a lot of times the Torah says it's a sandwich. It starts off with a klal, a generalization, then the Torah narrows it down. He shouldn't eat, don't eat anything from grapes. He shouldn't eat skins. And don't eat anything from grapes. So usually the prat comes to explain the whole generalization. And it's very, very specific. It has to be in a certain way. It gets rid of all the generalization. A prat, now we're going to see in a second, our Gemara actually has a different sandwich. It's a prat, klal, or prat. In other words, is it 2 klals in one prat, or 2 prats in one klal? And it seems like from the Gemara, it's almost identical. It almost doesn't make a difference. If the sandwich is made out of the klals, the bread is made out of the klal, or the bread is made out of the prat. The point is that there's a prat in there. Once there's a specification, it explains to us what. It's not just a general thing. It doesn't mean you eat the bark and you eat the ground and you eat it's more specific. Skins. So now I have to look, what is a skin? Or what is a grape? How is it?
Edible.
Oh, so that's what I'm going to say. Something like that. Edible. Fine. Now there's something very similar that's not in here, not in the Shleishes Seremidas. Very, very similar. Almost identical, but it's very different. It's ribui, miyot, ribui. And miyot is to limit. Ribui, I don't know, I have a good word for it. The article says to exact. What does he use? Wrote it down.
Include and exclude.
Okay, that's better. Include, to include. Okay, fine. I like that. For some reason, the article didn't go with that. So you can use the same exact words, and that's what we're going to see in the sugya. It's the same words. Anything from the grape tree is a klal, or it's a ribui. It's how you feel of learning it. And the miyut, or the prat, is the grapes, a specific thing. The difference, the huge difference is that when you have a ribui and a miyut, you're not excluding a lot of things. You're going to exclude one thing. When you have a prat, you're excluding everything. You're narrowing down the klal. There's a taisis over here in Lamed Hey, Amud Beis. I found it to be very, very helpful. The last taisis, it's a big taisis, iked the ilu prat klal, and 4 lines down, you have it, iked the ilu prat klal. The last taisis, 4 lines down. Kemosh rugel Rashi lefarish b'chol makom. Rashi always explains it. When you have this rule of klal prat, have a prat. The prat, the specification, pirusha sheklal. It comes to explain the entire generalization. It gets rid of, it destroys the entire klal, as if there's no generalization. It's very specific. Avaribo miyot, but on the flip side, if you're going to take that pasuk and use it as a ribu miyot, the miyot pirusha ribu levatel ribu. It's not going to ligamre kilu loyhaya. It's not destroying. El ribu tzas or miyot tzas. It takes away a little bit. It's a big difference. So says the Gemara, what's the machlokes whether a Nazir who eats a part of the tree, is he over or not? Rebbe Lezer Darish, Ribu Miyuti. Rabban Darshi Klal Prat. It's Shiloh, are we going to exclude everything or going to exclude one thing? Rebbe Lezer Darish, Ribu Miyut. So I'll show you real quickly. Here we go. Here's the psukim. The red is a prat. It's very, very specific. Miyayin. It can't get more prat than that. It's very specific. All wine. V'sheichor, aged wine. Chometz, vinegar. Mishras anovim. Lo yishtav anovim lachim. Dry. Yivashim. Moist. Lachim. Yivashim. Dry. Lo yich. Very specific. And then you have mikol asher yasim migefen hayayin. So that's very general. And then finally we have michartzan v'adzag. It's a very specific thing, skins and seeds. So if you put them together, basically you have a prat, klal, prat. Not a klal prat klal, but a prat, klal, prat. Inside, so he's learning it that it's a miyut. If you notice, he's only doing two things here. He's not doing three. He doesn't have a sandwich. All he has is a miyut and then a riboy. Why? Because michartzan v'adzag, if you paid attention before in the Mishnah, he's learning that you have to eat a little bit of each. You have to eat a little bit of chartzanim, a little bit of zag, a little bit of the peel, a little bit of the seed. So that goes away. He can't learn from it anything. So now he has only two. Fine. Ribo, meal, riba, kol. So when you have a meal and a riboy, he invited everything. My riba, kol mile, even leaves and shoots. My miyat, but he has to exclude something, right? The pasuk before, miyayim v'sheichor, is a prat. So what does it come to exclude? My miyat? Miyat, shebishta, branches. Heavy duty branches that I can't eat. You hear, Judah? It's mamash easy stuff. I don't want you guys to lose me. You got it? Get up here. Tell us over what happened. Very ambemis. It's simple stuff. Rabbanon darshi klal prat. What? Yeah. No, I guess it's the furthest thing on the tree. If you have to be made something, you're going to go to the furthest extreme. What's the worst thing on the tree? The branch. Shoots are somewhat edible. Leaves, they used to be edible in the 70s. The something that's never edible, the tree. Cigars. Oh, it's still not edible. Says and they say not a ribu miut, it's klal prat. Miyayim v'sheichor yazir prat. You go back, here it is. Here it is on the screen. Beautiful. Prat. Mikol asher yasim migefen hayayin klal. Mechartzanim. And here the green is a klal. It's very general. Doesn't specify what. Migefen hayayin from the whole tree. I guess this is what Ramesh is saying. Migefen means the tree. Mechartzanim adzag. The final pasuk. Chazu parad, it's more specific. So what happens when you have prat uklal prat, which is very similar to klal prat uklal. Iyatadon, this is what Bishmal says. Iyatadon elkeina prat. Then we take a look at the specific. What is so special about the specific? Ma prat mefayrosh pri. It's actually edible. It's a fruit. It's a grape. Upsoilus pri. And the, how do you say psoilus in English? Not the leftover, the waste of a pri. What's the waste of the pri, so to speak? Vinegar. Afkol pri. So too, now we're talking about pri. Upsoiles pri. So the immature grapes, we're going to be married with this. Here's the immature grape. And what's psoiles pri? Disgusting. I didn't take a disgusting picture to let everybody eat. Wormy grapes. A little worm on the top. You should see some of the pictures over there. And the blow-ups, what they look like. Unbelievable. So these are immature grapes. I don't know what they are exactly. They're not so edible. And wormy grapes. That if unripened grapes, if a Nazir eats any of this stuff, he's over. So what would be mutter? The leaves and the shoots would be mutter. Because I'm coming to I'm including just this stuff, the immature, the unripened, the wormy, but still grapes. What's not included is things that are not grapes, the leaves and the shoots, according to the Chachamim. Says the Gemara, Ima prat mefayrosh pri gomer. I've called pri gomer. Wait a minute, stop. Who told you to include unripened grapes. Maybe it means it has to be a real fruit. What did the Torah leave over? What else is there? Dry and moist grapes. It says mufurish in the pasuk. Wine and vinegar. It's mufurish in the pasuk. Then you can't say like we try to say, oh, that has to be a pre-gomer. No, unripened grapes, worming grapes are also part of the Isser. So Tosfos explains this interesting. Why does the Torah make a sandwich? Take all your very specific things, the grapes, the wine, the vinegar, the dry, the moist, and chartzanim and zag. Put them all in one category in the beginning of the pasuk, one pasuk, and then say a generalization. We call that geffen. Why make a sandwich? Why put chartzanim and zag in its own little pasuk at the end? Says the Gemara, I'll tell you why. From here I learned to the entire Torah. Pratu klal, iater rishoy soita nazir pratu klal, iater rishoy lemoishchoy ledunikin a prat, elo nasa klal musav ala prat. I would have maybe said everything is in there, shoots, leaves, everything. And nasa klal musav ala prat. It's teaching us that it has to be just like by Nazir. So also by Nazir, I have a prat, and then a klal, and then a prat, and that limits me to only things that are like the prat. In other words, I'm only going to go with immature grapes and wormy grapes, and not leaves and shoots. So too in the rest of the Torah, Rabbi Yisai will continue on this sugya. It's a beautiful sugya. Have a wonderful day.